Yo, yo, yo. It's 2026, and I'm back. First show of the new year, and guess who's back? It's your boy, J Sports, Crazy Shot Josh, known by a lot of names, depending on who you ask and which one to know, depending on the day. But we back, and we got a lot to talk about. We got the NFL playoffs, we got the college football playoffs. Shout out to my team, the University of Florida. Shout out to Carson Beck, man. Um, Trae Young got traded in the NBA. Luka Doncic is not a top 5 player in the NBA this particular season. Yeah, it's time we have that uncomfortable conversation about Luka. It's a lot to talk about, a lot to get to. Players are about to be traded and passed around like a dirty rag. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get into it, man. Trae Young got traded. And where did Trae Young go for a bag of peanuts? He went to the Washington Wizards. Let me share my screen. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, can see this. So about 2 days ago, the Atlanta Hawks traded Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Crispert. So on the surface, this trade looks horrible, right? But then when you break it down, really think about it, it was basically a financial move. Now you're asking, how was it a financial move? If you look at the Washington Wizards, matter of fact, we're gonna look at it together. If we look at all their guaranteed contracts, right? Trae Young is probably the only player that's currently played on that team right now. You got a team full of rookies, first and second year players. They don't have no superstar in that roster. I don't know what the Wizards are doing, what direction they're trying to, but they are building something, and it's starting with Trae Young. Let me see if I can find the Washington Wizards. They're in the East. There they are. Yeah, they're starting to build something over there. So we look at all their contracts. Let me see. We got the contracts up here. Oh, wrong thing. So as you guys can see, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Shout out to the six people that's in here right now. If you look at their contracts, going into, we're just gonna pay attention to 26-27 season. Trae Young obviously is making the most money. Your second highest paid player is Alex Scar, however you say that brother's name. Then you got Bill Koblai, Trey Johnson. So you don't have nobody on this roster is even making close to 20 million. So the highest you got right now is Alex R. So financially, by you getting off the CJ McCollum contract, I mean, and then next season, Chris Middleton's an unrestricted free agent and he's a rental. So going next season, Washington's gonna have a lot of cap space. And with a lot of cap space, excuse me, means you could make a lot of trades because now you have cap space. They're probably gonna get another top 5 to 10 pick in this draft. They get another high lottery pick. And if you look at what they're doing, you're building around Trey. I'm assuming Trae Young you're building around. This is your core guy, your franchise guy, your superstar guy. I think Alex Sarr, Bill Copeland, Trey Johnson are probably part of your future, and Bob Carrington. Everybody else, I don't know about. You don't owe anybody any money. You have 166 mil going to next season of free money, free cap space. You can do whatever you want with that money. And you're only gonna have 102 cap space. Oh wait, am I reading this wrong? I might be reading this wrong. But yeah, going next season, the only contracts that's guaranteed that's high is Trae Young's, and he's making 48 million. You probably sign him to an extension, whatever. What's going on then? It's sports track to show you all the different excuse me, show you all the contracts. But yeah, so the Wizards made a good move. Now I don't know what direction the Hawks are gonna go in. I don't know how good Jalen Johnson is. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't. How good do y'all really think Jalen Johnson is? Because right now he's your best player. You're building around a Jalen Johnson, an unproven guy who just had his breakout about 2 seasons ago. So how good do you think he is? There's rumors going around that they're trading for AD, so it was a cap space to get AD. They're trying to get AD. So trying to get AD, you got the cap space. Oh, appreciate it, Raj. I don't know how to say your name. I won't mess it up. Appreciate the love, brother. You got Jalen Johnson is gonna be the best player. You get a CJ McCollum who's on rental. You got Porzingis who's on a rental because next season their contracts they're unrestricted free agents, so they're rentals. Now you got Corey Crisper who's a good shooter. I think he'll be a good role player for this team. If you get AD, Zachary Ricochet, Rockashire, Worcester sauce, he's gone. He's up out of there. Bye bye. Um, I don't know what you need. You're gonna need a point guard going into next season, unless you want Jalen Johnson to run like a point forward type role. I mean, you still got Dyson Daniels who can handle the ball handling, but you don't have a primary ball handler, a primary playmaker and facilitator. You don't have a lead guard. CJ McCollum is I wouldn't say CJ is overrated only because it's CJ McCollum. I mean, I don't think people are that high on him. He's way past his prime. But yeah, you throw AD on this roster, I don't know. I think this team is a play-in team. They might just miss the playoffs altogether. I don't think this team is good or that good or will be that good. I think you could have got more for Trae Young, even though you didn't. I think you could have got a lot more than what you got. I think you let him go for way too much, way too cheap. I think it's a great move for the Wizards. The Wizards are actually trying to build something. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see. And then there was a report that came out early on Twitter that Trae Young's not even playing this season. So I'm all like, so yeah, I traded for him for next season. But going next season, depending on what the Wizards do, I have them being a play-in team. Hopefully, they could be a playoff team, but I have them in the play-in. I think Trae could have went for more. You could have got more for Trae, but I understand why you did what you did because ultimately the Hawks are trying to get AD. The only way you're gonna get AD is you need cap flexibility, and you only could do that by getting offloading Trae's contract while giving you still cap flexibility to bring in other players to build around them. Atlanta and Luka and Trae Young, they were traded for each other, and both got traded for only one first round pick. That is insane. Next season predictions. Um, I don't know. I think going to next season, right? I believe I don't know because I gotta see where Ja ends up. I just gotta look at the NBA and the landscape. But I think okay, still is gonna run the West. I think the Rockets are gonna get worse unless they find a point guard. I still believe Orlando Magic is one of the best teams in the East. That's a good question. I don't know. I gotta think about that because I gotta shake up some things and look at some things. Let's see what else we got on the docket today, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my boy Carson Beck, by the way. Shout out to my guy. mm, 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 mm. Oh yeah, you feel me? You know how it go. You gotta see what in the NBA. You can't. You gotta wait till the season. And these bookmarks are weird on there. That's just. Can we get some love to Russell Westbrook? I think I'm gonna give Russell Westbrook a shout out. Russell Westbrook has been historical this season after y'all try to downplay Goldbrook like that. Y'all try to outplay my boy. Statistically, he's one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. He's not close, not a conversation. There's nothing to say. Russell Westbrook is the highest scoring point guard in league history, and he is number 15th all time on the scoring list. He is a top 15 scorer of all time. Please respect Goldbrook. Yes, y'all gonna sit here and talk about the efficiency, which is cool and all, but when you need a bucket, he can go get you a bucket. Look at KD. KD is one of the most efficient players we ever seen, and still he has shortcomings when it comes to scoring. The man doesn't have a season averaging 30. I think his career high is only like 50 something points. But yeah, shout out to Westbrook, man. Fun fact about Westbrook, he has the highest assist percentage on drives for this season at 15.2%, and it's a minimum of 300 drives. Shout out to Goldbook, man. They said you was washed. They say you don't belong in the league. They say you a mucho galante basura. A team shouldn't sign you. You don't contribute to winning, and now look at you. Just being historical, having a historical season. Shout out to Goldbrook, man. Shout out to Goldbrook. The Kings are canvassing the market to offload Malik Monk in a multi-team framework with the Warriors for Jonathan Kuminga. The Nets are team monitor with Michael Porter Jr. So basically, Golden State wants Michael Porter Jr., Sacramento wants Kuminga, and Brooklyn will get Monk, draft capital, and Sally Philadelphia for the Warriors. Um, MPJ is a hot commodity right now, which is crazy to say. And let me tell y'all something. He's having a career year without Jokic. So he was going from the third to the first. Why don't y'all keep the same energy y'all had for Westbrook that y'all had for Jokic? Why don't y'all say Jokic held MPJ back? Why don't you say that Jokic didn't make MPJ better? Why don't y'all say that for him? But when players leave Westbrook, y'all say that. That's the narrative. But for some reason, it's cool when the Serbian do it. It's a problem with a brother do it, huh? That's very funny. Michael Porter Jr. has been balling this season for the Nets. They're a competitive basketball team. I didn't say they're good. They're just a competitive basketball team. If you watch the Nets basketball, MPJ is one of the best scorers in the league this season. He's one of the best shooters in the league this season, especially from three. He's been on the burner. Another player that we need to talk about that y'all try to sweep underneath the rug. Can we talk about Jaylen Brown, the season he's having? He's having a phenomenal season, a historical season. This is a man y'all told me he can't go left. The man can't go left and is averaging 30 points. This man is one of the best players in the NBA. He's a top 5 player this season in the NBA. Jaylen Brown is showing you that he can be a number 1 option on a team. Jaylen Brown is showing you that him and Tatum, the gap is not as big as y'all make it seem or want it to be. At the very least, they're on the same level. I don't know what else to tell you. Jaylen Brown is the best shooting guard in the league. He is the best two-way player in the league today. Yes. He's better than Donovan Mitchell. He's better than Devin Booker. I don't care what shooting guard you want to name. The only one that has an argument over him that you can kind of make a case for, and even then I will still give it to Jaylen Brown, is Anthony Edwards. And the reason why I'm giving Jaylen Brown over Anthony Edwards because Anthony Edwards has a lot of playoff woes. So I still believe Jaylen Brown is the best shooting guard in the league. He is showing you that he is him and not them. Jaylen Brown is doing things that y'all believe he couldn't do that I knew he could do as flourishing as a number one option. Leading the Celtics to one of the best records in the NBA, a top 3 record in the East. If Jaylen Brown, as a number one option, takes his team to the playoffs and they some way, somehow get out the first round, conversations are going to be very uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. Him just taking the team to the playoffs is just going to make it uncomfortable. But him winning a playoff series, because the expectations for the shout out to 21 people here, by the way. The expectations for the Celtics, what? They were playing, not gonna make the playoffs, and you telling me a Jaylen Brown led team won, made to the playoffs and won in the first round? With the way injuries are, right? By the way, Jaylen Brown's all NBA first team and ain't close. But the way the season's going with players like Luka, Wemby, Jokic missing because of injury, and they're gonna miss the 65 game minimum. Let's just say if SGA didn't make the 65 game minimum, Jaylen Brown will be the MVP this season. I hope y'all know that. And then don't get me started. If he wins the MVP for Jason Tatum, ooh wee, it's gonna be uncomfortable for a lot of y'all up on this app. But shout out to Jaylen Brown, man. He's been playing like a top 3 player in the league. He's been playing better than Luka Doncic, that's for sure. Uh, for all my WNBA fans out there, it look like the WNBA is cooked. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It looks like it's cooked, fried, deep fried, sauteed, grilled, charcoaled, cold steamed, hot steamed, whatever steam you want to put on it. So Nafisa Collier on her ongoing CBA talk said, being on the side with Unrivaled, I know what it takes to run a sustainable business. So I think if they can't find a model that makes that happen, they need to put people in place who can. Shots fired. Ding, ding, ding. Nafisa Collier, as we all know, her and Brianna Stewart are founded the Unrivaled League, which season 2 has started. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna recap that next show. But it sounds like talks are not going forward with the WNBA and its players with the CBA, which means we're not getting a WNBA season, which means the WNBA is cooked, fried, sauteed, and done up. Now they have competition with the A24 Basketball League, which has currently Ezzy's over there. No, it's not Ezzy. Oh, I can't think of the girl from the Seattle Storm. She's over there. And Alyssa Thomas. Those two are over there. Then when you look at Unrivaled, you got basically like a good percentage of the league in Unrivaled. They're making good money Unrivaled. They have equity in the company. They even got women college players going into Unrivaled. So they're giving a lot of job opportunities and growth for basketball, for women in basketball, women in sports. They got a lot of sponsorships from big time fishes, from the celebrities. If there is no WNBA, they still have Unrivaled, so they can still stay in the country, play basketball, still get paid, still hoop. It's just that simple. Unrivaled is becoming a threat to the WNBA, even though that wasn't the original intention. The original intention for Unrivaled was to let these ladies, instead of playing overseas, be closer to home, get the pay they deserve, and have something they can invest in that's actually theirs. And the women that's in Unrivaled, they love it. It's a unity ship. It's a sisterhood. They're playing a sport that they love. They're getting the treatment they deserve. They're getting the amenities they need. It's just amazing what they're doing. Shout out to Nafis Collier and Brianna Stewart and just unrivaled in general. Shout out to my man's cousin Marcus because he was on this train 3 years ago. He said that the Memphis Grizzlies should come off of Ja Morant. He said that he doesn't really fit to what they're doing. His flaws are gonna be his flaws are exposed in the playoffs. He just doesn't fit what this team does. And when Ja was hurt, the team functioned and just looked overall better. Shout out to cousin Marcus for saying this because they're shopping Ja Morant. And this is a problem I have with Ja Morant, right? When you watch him play, he's very limited as a basketball player. What do I mean by that? He doesn't have a jump shot in the half court set. He doesn't have a reliable jump shot. If you watch him this season, his jump shot has been sporadic and all over the place. Been mucho caliente basura. You understand? He's a good playmaker, facilitator. I'll give him that. He can't. He doesn't attack the rim like he used to. He can't attack the basket like he used to. He's always getting injured. Some way, somehow, his knees always hurting him or is about to hurt him. Excuse me. Ja Morant, I don't know. You need, for his play style, you have to surround him with shooters. Like, so I don't want to say this, but I'm going to have to. When you have an athletic guy like a Ja Morant, you have to surround him with shooters. You got to open up the paint. You got to do a lot of drive and kick. When the playoffs start, he gets limited because, again, no jump shot. He's okay at attacking the basket. He doesn't do it like he used to. He's a good playmaker facilitator. But when the defense is collapsing on you, shrinking the floor, shrinking the lane, what are you to do, Ja? I only see him in 2 spots realistically, maybe 3. I think the Kings is a spot. I think the Rockets should try to get him, see what they want. His trade value is low, so it ain't that high. If I'm Houston, I might go look at I might go look at Ja Morant, checking on them, see what they give up. And everybody's saying Minnesota, but I don't know what you're giving up. For Memphis to move on from Ja Morant, they're gonna want young players and contracts. They're gonna want young players and probably expiring contracts and draft capital. Excuse me. They probably just want the young players and draft capital. Realistically, that's all they want. But I don't know if he's gonna fit in Miami. That's a good spot for him, but I don't think him and Pat Riley gonna get along. But yeah, Ja Morant might be on trade block, but we'll see. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. Last night, he joined Kobe, T-Mac, LeBron, Melo, KD, and Luka as the 7th player to reach 10,000 career points before turning 25. That's elite class. Those are elite scorers he's with, the T-Macs, the Lukas, the Melos, the KDs, the Kobe's, the LeBron. When you're in elite class like that, that's good for basketball and good for you, man. Oh, this was a tweet I was telling you. Trae Young expect not to play much, if at all, with the Wizards this season, which is kind of weird. How do you trade for him? And then, yeah, that was weird. But we're gonna yeah. Like I said, the Hawks are trying to get AD and stay below the tax line, so they need to match his $5.1 million salary. So probably Luke Kennard, Porzingis, and Zachary Ricochet sauce is probably gonna be included so they can get AD. We're gonna switch lanes into football real quick. Dolphins fired their head coach. Browns fired their head coach. Ravens fired their head coach. Raiders fired their head coach. And I found the stat that they're paying their 5 last head coaches. The Raiders are paying because they only fired them 1 year into their contract, and they're still paying their contract. If you're gonna fire somebody, Especially in the NFL, if they're under contract. Can you at least wait, brother? Like, wait a little longer. The Falcons fired their head coach and their GM. Dolphins the same thing too. The Titans head coach jobs off, and the Cardinals head coach job. Now, if I'm the NFL coach and I'm looking at these 8 jobs, I think the Giants is very attractive when you got Jackson Dart, you got Cam Skittable, you got the receiver. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. You got Tom Thibodeau. You got a pretty decent roster. You got some young players you could build around. The Falcons' job looks like hell right now because they have a quarterback problem, which is insane. Because you paying Kirk Cousins all this money. Michael Phoenix Jr. looks like he's mucho galante basura. So like I don't know what somebody supposed to do with that. But yeah, the Raiders, same problem. But the Raiders, you got the number 1 overall pick, which means you're probably gonna get the kid that just won the Heisman, Mendoza from Indiana. You got Genty. You probably gonna trade Max Crosby, see what you can get for him. You really don't got no receivers over there for real, for real. So that job does not look that attractive. The Browns, you got Shador. You got the tight end, the rookie tight end they got. Uh, you got Dylan Sampson, and I can't remember the other running back's name who got hurt. So that's pretty attractive. You got some skill positions there, some things you need to fill. The Titans is a mess. You're basically starting from scratch. And the Cardinals is another one that's a mess. I don't know. I think the writing's on the wall that Tua's up out of there. Bye bye Tua. And I think Kyle Murray's up out of there too. Where they going? I don't know. I don't know what team's gonna be this desperate. Um, the Colts might want to go look at one of these guys just for the meanwhile. Have them sit on the bench, have them be a nice little backup. But yeah, Trae Young's in Hawks history. He's first in assists per game, first in total assists, first in 3-pointers made, first in playoff points per game, first in assists per game, second in 3-pointers, second in double doubles, third in points per game, third in playoff points, fourth in playoff 3-pointers made, sixth in points, sixth in playoff assists. Shout out Trae Young, had a heck of a career. Luka and Trey were traded for each other on draft night. Luka first in points by active player. Trae Young is first in assists by active player. Both top 5 all-time point guards, all-time in points per game and assists per game. First and second in 30-10 games since 2019. Both traded away this year. Only first-round pick was involved. That's crazy. And then if you look at the roster of the Wizards, you got Trey, who's 19. You got Bub, who's 20. Alex, who's 20. Bill Kalib, who's 21 years old, and Keyshawn, who's 22, and you got Trae Young, who's I think he's like 26-ish. I don't know how old he is, but he's somewhere around there. Trae Young scored or assisted on 51.8 PPGs, his career second most in NBA history, behind Luka Doncic. That's crazy. The Dolphins fired coach Mike McDaniel. So he met with Stephen Ross, and after the meeting, he said, "You fired, get up out of here, take Tua with you." I think he will be a hot commodity on the market. I think personally, Mike McDaniel is better as a coordinator than a head coach. I think he's a great OC coach. Shout out to Drake May, man. He's the first player in NFL history complete 90% of his passes while throwing for 250 yards and 5 touchdowns in a game. Respect my boy. Kyle McCartney in 32. What's good? What's good? What's good? How you living? How you living, brother? Um, Luka Doncic is not a top 5 player this season. Luka has been atrocious on defense. He's been very turnover prone this season, and his shot selection has been mucho galante basura, like straight in trash can. Hold on, let's talk about this because I ain't about to let this slide. So I'm sick and tired of you people talking about look at this, look at that. I don't even think Luka's been. All right, let me say this first. SGA has been better than Luka this season. Jokic has been better than Luka this season. Giannis has been better than Luka this season. Cade has been better than Luka this season. Jalen Brunson has been better than Luka this season. And Jalen Brown has been better than Luka this season. So realistically, Luka is 7 through 10 somewhere. And I don't care about him averaging 30, 8, and 8. I don't care what he averaging. He's not impacting winning at a high level, that's number one. Number two, his 3-point percentage is Westbrookish. What do I mean by that? The man is attempting 10.4 threes. You know what he's shooting? 31.6. The only person that's attempting more threes than you is Steph, who's shooting almost 40%. Well, 39%, which is close to 40. But there's no way you're taking this many threes and shooting this. Don Mitchell's shooting 10 threes. He's making 38%. Derek White is shooting 9. It's still higher than you. Michael Porter shooting 9. It's still higher than you. Out of the top 10 guys, you have the second lowest 3-point percentage. The only person that's lower than you on a high volume is Jordan Poole. So Luka's shot selection has been terrible this season. Just straight dog crap. Out of 10.4, he's only making 3.3. That is not good at all. That's not a good stat. That's not something to be proud of. That ain't nothing good. The step back threes he want to do, yeah. Luka Doncic shooting has been terrible this season. He's been turnover prone. He just hasn't been good this season. If you still think he's top 3, top 5 player this season, you're lying to yourself. I'm gonna give out a list again. No order. SGA has been better. Luka's been better. Jokic's been better. Jalen Brown's been better. Jalen Brunson's been better. And K's been better. All 6 of these players have been better than Luka. No ifs, ands, buts about it. They have impacted. They've just been better basketball players. And I think they have impacted winning more. Now you can have a conversation with Giannis because he has been hurt in and out the lineup. But still. Let's go into let's look at the NFL playoffs is here, baby. And you know how I tell you, I paid you to the Super Bowl. So tomorrow, Saturday, we got the Rams and the Panthers. I feel sorry for the Panthers because they about to get smacked up by the Rams. Then we got Packers and Bears, a division rival game. Y'all may not like this, but I'm taking the Packers over the Bears. I'm edging them out. Then I got the Bills and Jags. You know what? I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the Jaguars. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence. I think the Jaguars will beat the Bills. And then we're going to have some uncomfortable conversations about Josh Allen. That's Sunday. Then we have the 49ers and the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles in that one. The fact that the Niners snuck in the playoffs with all the injuries that they had on defense is crazy. Then we got the Chargers and the Patriots. You know I'm taking my Pats. Like, come on now. Like, what? And then Monday we have probably the game of the night. Texans and Steelers, give me Texans. I think that D line is going to be way too much for Aaron Rodgers and CJ Stroud. I trust, I believe in. I just think the Texans are the better overall team. Yeah. But what's today? Friday. I'll be back next week. Normal time, normal show. Y'all know where to find me at. Make sure you hit that sub button. Tell your friends to hit that sub button. Tell your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your nieces, your nephews, your frenemies. Tell whoever, whatever. Follow me on YouTube at Josh Universe. If you're on X watching this, make sure to hit that sub button. You can follow me on Instagram at _talk sports. You can find me on TikTok, Crazy Josh. I host lives, basketball lives, debate sports. It's basketball, football, NFL, college. You know, we do everything and anything. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all be safe. Make sure y'all tune in next week. Make sure y'all tap in with the channel. Y'all know what it is. I'm your favorite content creator, your favorite TikToker, your favorite YouTuber, whoever your favorite person is, I'm their favorite person, so I don't know what to tell ya. Y'all have a wonderful day. Y'all be safe. Happy New Year. We're gonna be back banger after banger after banger. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm out of here.